Hey, welcome to Blade and Brush. I'm Mike, your wet shaver, back with another video. And as you can see, I did give myself a nice trim that should take a while to grow back out. Because why not? So we're going to go ahead and do a shave today. It's Wednesday. And I don't know about you, but I am so over these 80 and 90 degree day weather in October moments, you know? So today's razor. Let me see if I can get off some of the condensation here. It is the Gillette Tech Ball End Executive Edition, meaning it's gold-plated. As you can see, it's got the diamond-shaped Gillette logo with the word Gillette in the middle of it. It's kind of faint here, but trust me, it's there. But yeah, this is a nice vintage razor. So I thought I would do a vintage shave. The shave cream is Gillette shave cream. I had considered using my Williams Mug shave soap, but it's too hard to work up a lather with that, not with the kind of water that I have in this place. So, as you can see, I've got my Omega bore brush all lathered up already. Yeah, I cannot talk today. So yeah, I had an interview with a third-party company that works with the public school system here. Went fairly well, I think. So right now I'm just waiting to hear back. In fact, I got to check my email after I get done here. I also made sure to fire off a thank you email to the person I interviewed with. So yeah, this is a three-piece razor, by the way. It is, like I said, the Gillette Tech Ball End Executive Edition, gold-plated. I got this on the Shave Den forum as a PIF or a welcome package. I don't remember which, but it ended up being the first PIF, I think, that I got from there. And it is genuinely a nice piece of artwork. It's got a nice knurling on the handle, very tiny diamond crosshatch. I don't know if you can see it here. Then, of course, a little ball end, or maybe more of an oval shape, as I would call it, is why it gets its name. Yeah. So, yeah, nice bit of history there. But it is a nice mild shaver. And of course, I've got my Astra Superior Platinum in there, which is on its fourth use. Yeah, Gillette used to have a whole bunch of razors that they had in gold plating or gold colored plating. Basically is a fancier edition. For people who have money to spend, I guess. But this, I believe, is brass. I believe it was also made before World War II. I got to double check the year of production on this. It says made in USA. It doesn't say the year. But if you happen to know what the production period was on these things, feel free to comment below. I think it was 1930s. Yeah, got a stray here. So I just came out of the shower before I shaved. I guess I missed a stray hair from when I clipped my Kramer hair off, you know. It was getting pretty long. So it'll get to that length where even using pomade won't keep it down. Eventually it will start to lie flat, and then pomade will keep it under control. But my hair takes a while to get to that length. And I happen to know this because I grew my hair out starting in 2020, because I hadn't really gone through my Highlander Mall Ninja phase. And I wanted to see how I would look with a ponytail and long coat. So I used to watch Highlander the series back in the 90s. And when I was a kid and teenager, and then as a young adult, I was into all sorts of like medieval stories, sword and sorcery, epics, and all that fun stuff. 80s and 90s especially were a very good time to get into that. Especially in the 90s, I was something of a semi-regular mall visitor. Even though I never had much money to spend, but you know, I'd still like to go there just to walk around and see what was there. And when I did have surplus disposable income, there was the sword and knife shop. And yes, I did get the Highlander sword. I was something of a dork back then. Didn't really keep it though. Back then, those wall hanger swords were not very good quality, so I ended up selling it. I do still have a katana in my collection that I got some years ago. I've had it, I think, now about maybe 10 years, maybe 9. I forget exactly when I bought it. Actually, no, I think it might have had it longer than that. I know it was definitely after 2010. Cutter's Corner, that's the name of the shop that I used to like going to. Just came back to my mind. You know, the late 80s through the 1990s were a great time to be a mall ninja. In fact, a lot of my favorite Arms and Armor channels on YouTube are middle-aged guys like me who started off as mall ninjas before they got serious. Yeah, there's a store down south called Museum Replicas Limited. That had a whole bunch of Arms and Armor replicas and a lot more than that, like clothing and stuff. I actually got myself a medieval tunic, which I don't think I have anymore. I think it's one of the things that my ex-roommate kept after I left the last place I stayed. But it was a nice blue color. See, I wanted to wear it to like Renaissance and medieval fairs. So it's just a basic, generic medieval style tunic. It's a nice blue color with brass studs at the collar, at the ends of the sleeves, and at the bottom. Then I got myself a pair of medieval trousers, some medieval riding boots. Medieval style, obviously, because the originals didn't survive. I even had a replica before I had to sell it of an Irish hand and a half sword. And then there were various books on Arms and Armor by the late great Ewart Oakeshott. He was one of the foremost scholars in the field. And I was really more into the process that goes into making swords than I ever was in the process of using them. So a lot of the techniques that they used were fairly inventive. And very often experimental. In fact, the evolution of swords, axes, polearms, maces drove the evolution of armor, from simple leather and padding to mail armor or chain link armor, as it's often called, somewhat inaccurately. And then eventually into plate armor. And because that became increasingly difficult to penetrate, then people developed crossbows that could fire heavier bolts. And then when those became insufficient, and then we discovered gunpowder, well, I wouldn't say we discovered it, more like the Chinese invented it, and then we brought it back along trade routes and found uses for it that the Chinese didn't until way too late. It's really kind of interesting to look at the technology that goes into making that stuff, and also the artistic designs as well. Yeah, just got to get some of the excess water off my face this time before I apply the witch hazel. Okay, not much feedback. That's good. If you're getting a lot of irritation, you've done something wrong. Or you're using a dull blade. But nope, not really getting any irritation. But yeah, it's a nice little daily shaver. You don't want to skip a day if you've just got something like this. Oops, just hit it on the cabinet door. Don't want to break it. One of those days, you know. All right, so let's go ahead and rinse out the bowl and brush while we're waiting for the witch hazel and alum to do their work. Yeah, I've got a good feeling about that interview. I think I might get a second one, so keeping fingers crossed. In the meantime, if you want to help me earn some money, and if you're local to the Cleveland, Ohio area, or just in Cuyahoga County generally, I've got a link to my website below in the description. If you want to hire me for headshots or portrait photography, feel free to get in touch. I've got my portfolio up. I'm contacting people I've worked with previously to get testimonials. But yeah, my philosophy when it comes to taking photographs and making videos for people, there is no such thing for me as that's not my specialty. As long as you pay me to shoot it, I will shoot it. All right. Yeah, this, by the way, Clubman Pinot, or Pinot Clubman, Special Reserve. Still got plenty of that. All right, that is a good shave. So once again, yeah, we've had the Gillette Tech Ball End Executive Edition, which was piffed to me, actually I think the first piff from the Shaved End forum. And actually I think this was an extra because I bought a blade bank and shave cream pick for using Taylor Holt Bond Street shave cream. And I think this was an extra. I'm trying to remember. But it's been a few years since I got it, so I'll have to check my messages and refresh my memory. But yeah, it's a very nice daily shaver. Again, a 3-piece razor. There are not many like this in circulation. So if you find one, grab it up. And then, of course, today's shave was with Gillette Shave Cream, finished off with Clubman and Duquesne and Shave Balm. So, anyway, please like, share, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things so that you never miss a video. Help out the algorithm, and also feel free to click the links below if you want to get the item set I've used today. So, until next time, this is Mike for Blade and Brush, signing off.